So what an absolute epic Champions Cup final. Toulouse with their 6th star, and I think they deserve it. It was really close. I mean, Leinster had chances to win that, but Toulouse came up with the goods when it mattered. And I think it kind of went the way, dare I say, like I guessed it would in the preview show, with Leinster playing all the phase play, but Toulouse with those big plays, with those big individuals. And as I thought, Dupont was the difference. He is just that good. There was plenty of drama. It went into extra time and it went on forever. Goodness me, in some ways, I'm kind of glad I'm not a fan of either Toulouse or Leinster because the heart rates must have been through the roof. Just tell me how nervous you were in that final, how your emotions went through it. So straight from the off, it was all about high box kicks with Gibson Park testing Kinghorn, and he passed twice in a row. And Kinghorn, I think he justified starting. It was great debate in the comments about Ramos and Kinghorn. But Kinghorn, I do think, is the better all-round player. And I think he showed it in this game. Ramos is the straighter kicker. But I think Kinghorn is a bit more reliable. And his high ball work was brilliant in this game. One of the star men for sure. Intermac and Meafou, they combine early on, and Meafou, I think, showed in this game why he's going to be France's starting lock, for a long time, I think, because he's just so strong, and he's got a game as well. He can offload, and in that first play there, he held off a player so he could offload on his own terms, and that's really rare, because normally you offload when you're falling down, and that makes 4 players over chase onto Malia, and no one picks up Dupont's support line, which is kind of what you're meant to do with Dupont, but Gibson Park, a brilliant play in the early stages there, drags Dupont into touch, and there were so many tries that could have been in this game. Now, from the off, for the first 5 minutes, it was all Toulouse, actually. Leinster's kicking to compete comes to nothing, although in the second half, their kicking to compete really helped out. And then a monster 15-metre penalty from Kinghorn. Yes, I know he curls it, but he judged it pretty well in the first half, 0-3. On 8 minutes, Meafou, continuing to show why he's so impressive, barges Connors and Keenan off the ball with a great counter-a-ruck, and they're always hovering to counter-ruck our Toulouse. Really, really impressive stuff. Another banana curl from Kinghorn gives me butterflies, but it goes over. On 8 minutes, it was Toulouse's first big mistake and the start of Leinster's domination of possession and territory, to be fair. Archie letting the ball bounce, which is a criminal mistake on the restart. The Leinster machine is good, but they did make a lot of passing errors, particularly in this first half. They keep on building the phases, but those poor passes, especially out of the back, just kill some momentum. And then a third poor handling mistake from Leinster butchers a big overlap. But despite this, they are keeping the pressure on. They are in good territory. Multiple line-out mauls, 8 minutes of pure pressure, and you've got to think this is going to be points. And this really is where Leinster lost this game, I think. They had all this possession, all this territory, and they couldn't come away with points. Something amazing from Toulouse, this time Intermac dislodging the ball from Jenkins. But we do see Toulouse's vulnerability in this match, as we thought we might. As those phases go on, there are gaps there, and I think they actually started to back off in defence a bit more later in the match to try and stop those gaps coming, which they did. But in this first half, there were plenty of good chances. And Toulouse, they're scrambling, they're surviving, but then a poor decision from Aldegheri, just as they're doing so well. He carries on with the jackal when he's off his feet, so that's a penalty. 3-6, so at least Leinster are on the board, but on 21 minutes the shots are just flying in from Toulouse. That's what they're trying to do to disrupt the Leinster phases. Massive hits. Kinghorn piles into Byrne, and then Cross piles into Doris, but I think Costas gets away with one here because he chucks in a cheeky shoulder, but he wasn't the main tackler, so he gets away with it. So a couple of breaks in this game, and you need a bit of luck to win these Champions Cups. But as we thought, the Leinster shapes are catching Toulouse out, but they just haven't been able to execute them. And that is the thing that they're going to go away and just think, what if we executed those attacks a little bit better? On 23 minutes, really nice hands from Byrne and Lowe. Free Henshaw with the first big break. Costes really overreads there. He's in no man's land. Poor defending from 13. When he starts backing off, it gets a bit better, actually. Intermac jackals and saves the day, and that's what happens. Someone saves the day. Those big tackles, those big jackals. And a few signs of Toulouse creating some space with offloads, but really it was a bit too frenetic and they couldn't dominate any possession at all. On 28 minutes, Dan Sheehan with an amazing rip on Dupont, and he steps into Mac and he sprints away, but can't quite go the length as Kinghorn shows great pace to rescue the day, and just so many rescues. Kinghorn this time. and it's half an hour gone. And you definitely say that Leinster are the better team in open play, but the sheer tenacity of Toulouse is keeping them in front, and those handling errors killing Leinster's good attack. The worst of the bunch was a Jordan Lama cold drop from an easy pass, so really some big missed opportunities in this first half. Then the first of the amazing 50-22s from Dupont from box kicks. He kind of fades away from the ruck and smashes the low kick. Amazing stuff. And finally, on 33 minutes, they get a decent set of attacking pressure going, and just those sheer distance on the box kicks, it's got to be the best around, but they can't get anything from it. The Toulouse scrum in this first half probably had the slight edge, and they win a penalty, Porter losing his bind, so 3-9, stretching ahead a little bit. On 37 minutes, 2 errors in a row, Rossburn knocking the restart straight out, then a ruck penalty, but that was pretty tight. But anyway, penalty from 45 minutes on the angle for Kinghorn, but that curl comes to hurt him this time as he pulls it a touch. Last chance of the half goes to Leinster with the biggest carry of the match from Doris, who did pop up occasionally with big plays, gets a penalty 6-9 at half time, and it just feels like a psychological test. Leinster know they've got the game to score tries if they get it right. Toulouse know that if they stay really focused in defence, they've got the plays that can keep them ahead, and also they know they've got some excellent individuals. In the second half, excellent kicking and catching contest from both sides. Gibson Park, Kinghorn with great takes. The only guy letting the side down with the kicks was Rossburn, with I think 3 I counted in 10 minutes, 2 short kicks to touch. And I think Rossburn is kind of a weak link. We've said it in the preview show. It was a big game for him, and he's a good club player, but he's not of the quality of some of those other guys on that pitch. They released Josh van der Fleer early in this second half, and he looks like a caged lion. Lots of energy. Can he make the difference, I thought, when he comes on? One thing that does make a difference is that Leinster scrum in the second half looks much better than the first. Porter really goes long in this game, and then when they change that front row to Toulouse, they really start to struggle, and that was a big weapon in the second half for Leinster. And then on 50 minutes and 53 minutes, we get some rinse and repeat. Big attacking sets. Willis goes off his feet in a jackal, and there's loads of opportunities, but Dupont swoops and turns over. On 53 minutes, a big carry from Porter amongst some other players, and he carries again, and Toulouse just hold out. Willis, this time manhandling players, and goodness me, he just carries players backwards in the tackle. So strong. What a massive loss he is to the England team. But that is the story for Leinster. Lots of good attack, being repelled again and again and again. Toulouse gets some ball in the second half, but it's pretty slow. They're not going anywhere, but really they're kind of happy to go a little bit slower, kick it and try and get that penalty. And this time it's Gibson Park with a painful offside, which he didn't really need to give, and Kinghorn just about curls it in, 9-12. But that scrum is completely changed around, and that front row of Netty, Marchand and Merkler for Toulouse is getting folded up. Porter doing a good job, maybe going in on the angle, who knows, let me know, but they level it up off that penalty, 12-all, and it's so tight. It's 50 minutes to go and no tries. It looks like it's just going to be a kicking game. That's not quite how it goes. Leinster are starting to pick up more and more kick contests possession now. Lama having a really good game in the second half. Sheehan as well, but Jack Willis single-handedly mugs the Leinster ruck just when they're building once again. It's just the theme of the match for sure. But finally, Toulouse actually get the ball wide and get free. Kinghorn breaks down the right, and then there's loads of space on the left. It looks like a perfect setup with a cross-field kick. Maybe the kick's a bit too high. It looks like LaBelle's got loads of time. Maybe he could have passed, I don't know. But Lama makes up so much ground to somehow drag a foot into touch. That could have been Toulouse's winning try right there. So some amazing stuff from Lama in this second half. And another guy who had a big game, you have to say, was the referee. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, but I think Matt Carley had a fantastic game. That breakdown was so vicious, but it wasn't out of control. It was just a good contest, and I think it was a good advert for the game in the breakdown actually, so well done to them. And they got some other big decisions right as well. Best rolling maul of the match on 69 minutes from halfway for Toulouse. They stay linked up and McCarthy collapses it. Big penalty, laser straight from Ramos this time, 12-15. And then just ridiculous deja vu. Leinster phases, of course. Jackal penalty from Dupont, who is so good in the jackal. He's so good everywhere. I think he got man of the match. I think you give it to him before the game, to be honest. And at this stage, you expect Leinster to leave the ball in the scrum because they're doing so well. And they do. Penalty, Frawley nails it, 15-all, straight down the middle. And is it going to extra time? Yes, it is. But then, huge moments in the game. HIA, Toulouse catch a huge break. The rested Mayafu gets back on. Dupont breaks and offloads. And Lowe can't help but throw up a reaction arm to bat the ball on. It's a bit harsh, but it is a yellow. And the penalty, but Ramos actually misses it. But then we get the try, and I think this is the big moment. It's just some simple pull behinds. It's quite deep, but Leinster decide to blitz with a man less, and it goes all wrong with Lama getting turned inside out, and then he can't chase back in time for the bell to fly over. So that was a bad defensive play from Leinster, because I think they had men and they just mucked it up, plus the yellow, and that was absolutely it. And then we get the second massive 50-22 from Dupont. Quality stuff. His kicking is the best in the world from 9. Rolling Maul gets the penalty, 15-25, and that's where the damage was done. But it's not quite all over yet, because it looks like Toulouse are closing the game out. Another Dupont jackal, but big Richie Arnold, the Australian, clears out Healy on the head with his shoulder. It's clumsy, it's a red, and with Lowe returning, you then get an extra man for Leinster. They're in the red in the first half of the extra time. Huge call for Leinster. They don't take the 3 points. Frawley doesn't kick it that great in the corner anyway, but they just about muscle over. The TMO has a look. On pitch, it's given no try, so I think maybe this won't be given. But I think they make the right decision. It is a try, and it's given 22-25. Half-time of extra time, 3 points in it, and they've got the extra man. So what a chance. But those Antoine Dupont box kicks are such a weapon, and from deep, he forces a little error from Hugo Keenan, who steps on the line, and that is the beginning of the end, because then we get a big error from Doris, who's clearly off his feet. That was a bit of a brain fade, and it's a penalty. So 22-28, not a great kick, but somehow it fades in from Ramos. And even with the extra man, it's just falling apart now for Leinster in that second half of extra time. Cian Healy isolated for a second. They're not joined up for once in the game. Marchand and Willis swoop. Huge jackal penalty to take it beyond a converted try. Yet again, 22-31. Leinster go and go and go, but they can't get there. Frawley has another go to drop goal, but misses again. He missed one earlier on. 22-31, Toulouse win. What an epic effort from Toulouse. I think that defence, those jackals, those amazing kicks from Dupont, what a difference they made. Leinster had plenty of chances and they just didn't execute. Are they missing a bit of killer edge? Are they missing a few players? I don't know. But I think if they'd executed some of those plays in the first half, it could have been a big different story. Then we got yellow cards and red cards in extra time, and it all went to pot a little bit. But anyway, such heartbreak for Leinster to lose the best club side in the Northern Hemisphere once again. Pop those comments below, subscribe and like if you like these sorts of videos, and I'll catch you next time.